Hey everyone, it's Molonel from Mobi.gg, and today we're here for a selection of games released in December to keep you entertained in January. I've picked out some licensed games and other indie gems that you shouldn't miss, but of course there are more games to discover on Mobi.gg. Get comfortable, like the video to support us, and if you like this video, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next ones. Alright, let's get started. We're kicking off this top list with a release that we've been eagerly awaiting here at Mobi.gg, Monument Valley 3. The successful series of 2 puzzle games has just released a third installment that is just as stunning as the previous ones. Like the first 2 games, it's a puzzle game that plays with impossible geometry, 3D space manipulation, and optical illusions to immerse you in its enchanting world inspired by the work of Escher. We discover a bunch of cute and minimalist new characters, along with more flexible mechanics like boat travel to mix things up without changing the original formula. The pastel tones of this dreamlike title are no deception. It's a game with a low level of difficulty, designed to enjoy the journey and a poetic visual narrative. We've waited almost 7 years for this third game, and it's pure joy to experience the poetry of Monument Valley for the holidays in 2024. It's another success for us 2 games, which, on top of that, is a studio focused on ethical work practices and ecology. Perfectly suited for the pocket format, the game lasts just the right amount of time. Monument Valley 3 is available in the gaming catalog of your Netflix subscription for all plans at no extra cost on Android and iOS. Next up is Infinity Nikki and its light outfits. With over 30 million players ready to dive into the adventure created by Infold Games, this is probably the best launch of a dress-up game in video game history. Infinity Nikki is set in an open world within the universe of Mirrorland, featuring Nikki and her companion Momo in a mix of platforming, easy combat, encounters with lovable characters, and puzzles. It's a rich virtual world that makes you want to get lost in the long dresses and explore all its corners. Collect outfits, switch mid-air, and develop your style as you play with the gacha system. On the combat side, it's very light, and there's no need to create a meta build to get by. You just have to enjoy the journey while having fun. It's an easy free-to-play adventure with some amazing graphics. The servers were a bit overloaded for the launch, so we experienced quite a few crashes and slowdowns, but things are gradually calming down, so now is a good time to try Infinity Nikki on Android and iOS completely for free. Oh yes. And just as a fun fact, there was a little twist during the launch of Infinity Nikki on Android and iOS when the game's website got hacked for 40 minutes, with a troll message asking people to install a private Genshin Impact server instead. If I tell you, it's one of the best Metroidvanias of recent years, made by a Spanish studio and based on Andalusian folklore. Do you know which one I'm talking about? I'm of course talking about Blasphemous. The Game Kitchen's game is now available for $8 on Android, so don't hesitate, and for iOS users, the game should arrive in February on Apple devices. Blasphemous is sure to please you if you love pixel art, super dark atmospheres, and tough bosses like in Souls games. Released in 2019, this game takes you into the religious world of Custodia through the character of the Penitent, a masked survivor wielding a sword called Mea Culpa. Unlock skills as you progress through your run and navigate the dark map of Blasphemous. On top of that, you'll get all the DLCs along with an interface and controls designed for mobile. The free-to-play cozy idle game surprised players with its very pleasant atmosphere and well-crafted mechanics. You can explore a super cute and colorful world and socialize with other players around a campfire. Even though GO Muffin is a chill game to relax, it's still an MMO that lets you choose your character from 5 available classes, complete with boss raids and guilds. Form your squad and enjoy the colorful universe of GO Muffin, brought to you by XD Entertainment, available both live and in AFK mode to progress. Let's hit the ground running with CARX Street Racing 3. On the menu for this new installment, we have plenty of burnt rubber and crazy races. Switch to sport mode, customize your ride, and race on the track to become the best driver. Developed by CARX Technologies, this title features PvP races with tournaments of up to 32 players. Prove your worth on the asphalt in multiplayer competitions or through 5 campaigns that tell the story of drift racing dating back to its beginnings in the 80s. For a personalized experience, you can also change the parts of your cars and set up your own races.
I'm taking a short break in this top mobile games list to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content. Many of you watch our videos each week without following us, and your support means a lot to us. So please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Thank you in advance to everyone who does, and let's move on to the next game in this list.
Let's continue with Girls Frontline 2 Exilium, the 3D tactical gacha. PG from Sunborn Games. Continue your initial adventure 10 years after the events of the first title as the commander of a squad of military tiddles. The tactical dolls here create a strategic game with character classes to synergize and customizable 3D weapons. You'll be able to form bonds with waifus that have impressive firepower and lead your squad through contaminated areas to take down the Griffin PMC organization. Girls, Frontline 2 is free and available now on Android and iOS. And what if I told you that you can grab a super indie game for less than 90 cents? Would you be interested? A Kindling Forest is waiting for you. This roguelite autorunner challenges you to last as long as possible in your wild run. The screen is divided into 2 sections for jumping and shooting arrows, which are also the spirits of the forest. Dodge the vertical fragments that block your path and pass the checkpoints to save your progress through 5 levels that are perfect for this pocket format. The forest is waiting for your help, but each arrow is also your life count, so don't waste them. You need to use them strategically. Season 2 of Squid Game Unleashed has arrived, and it's your turn to play to escape your debts. Put on your green jumpsuit because things are getting serious. It's Battle Royale time. Step onto the different tracks of this competitive and fast-paced racing and high-score game. If you're looking for a ruthless PvP game, what could be better than a sadistic game with challenges inspired by the trials from the series and obstacle courses for 32 players where the slightest fall means death? As Netflix promised us, the deadly games from Korea are available on your Android and iOS devices for free thanks to the work of the Boss Fight Studio. Choose your character, loot weapons and upgrades, and become the champion of the Squid Games with your friends or solo. The most unfair deaths await you in the game, along with daily missions, events, and cartoon visuals. And for those who aren't so great, none of you, there's still the spectator mode to hang around a bit until the end of the game and learn from the best. You just have to take advantage of this opportunity while it lasts because Squid Game will be reserved for Netflix subscribers after the launch period. So you got it. It's the perfect time to try out this more brutal clone of Fall Guys to kick off 2025. I know some people who still haven't gotten over the closure of Mighty Quest for epic loot. And even though we really like the sequel Rock Palace at Mobi.gg, it really lacks a dungeon mechanic to perfect it. So in all of this, we might be tempted by Tormentis, an RPG that mixes the frantic action of hack and slash with dungeon building on Android. Siege other players' dungeons, raid them, and loot their castles mercilessly in PvP. Your one and only goal is to outsmart your opponent with increasingly twisted traps and a personally devious design. So yes, you'll be accumulating loot by raiding your opponents, but you'll have to double your efforts to protect what you've earned. Keep your gold by creating impossible challenges for other players in your personal dungeon. Make sure to properly equip your hero and team up with other raiders. With all that, you'll surely be able to climb the leaderboard by defending your precious loot in Tormentis, available now as a free-to-play on Android. The next game on this list is ARK Ultimate Mobile Edition. This free-to-play version invites you to explore the world of dinosaurs with friends or solo and to try to survive by any means necessary. It's kind of the ultimate version of a survival formula that we've loved for years, with its strengths and weaknesses. As usual, you start off naked on a beach with few skills and no crafting knowledge, but you'll soon go from nudist to armored dinosaur rider capable of building a base, becoming a farmer, and dominating the local wildlife. And believe me, it's even better with 2 or more. First, you multiply your farming and hunting capacity, and then you can share your entire established campsite and its features. Craft day and night to gear up in order to improve your chances of survival in this hostile universe. You'll discover dinosaurs that are all more fearsome than the last, and thus opportunities to exploit them as a good human predator. You can play this version for free on Android and iOS and unlock the DLCs by paying separately if you like the game. Woolly Boy and the Circus is presented as a little old-school point-and-click adventure published by Cotton Game. Developed with passion by the creator of Rain City, the game obviously takes you to the circus with all the performers and his dog QQ, who collaborates through a series of puzzles in an amazing circus. Enjoy game rewards, puzzle solving, and mini-games in this casual and heartwarming pocket game. As a bonus, there are even 100 items to collect during your run. The game is available for $4 on the App Store and Google Play Store, but Woolly Boy and the Circus will also be available on PC and console soon. Head over to the Crunchyroll subscription with Tokyo Dark. In addition to the anime already in Crunchyroll's catalog, you can find quality indie games, some of which are based on licenses you know. Here, the detective Ido's partner has gone missing, and you'll need to investigate to find out what happened to him. But don't worry, you won't be left helpless in the face of the task at hand, because you can rely on the system called SPIN. Health, professionalism, investigation, and neurosis, which keeps track of all your major decisions in the game. Of course, this affects the NPC reactions and the storyline, leading to one of the 13 possible endings of Tokyo Dark. So you'll need to stay professional throughout the multiple phases of the game. Between exploration, the rather new visual interrogation, and puzzle solving, believe me, there's really a lot to do. But neurosis is never far away, and the atmosphere of this dark version of Tokyo might just get to your head. The investigation turns into a nightmare. So does your mental health in this gripping and twisted point-and-click game. Tokyo Dark is waiting for you this January on Android and iOS with the Crunchyroll subscription. By the way, it's a subscription with 1,300 different anime and titles to watch right after their release in Japan, so why not take advantage of the Game Vault as well, ad-free and at no extra cost. With it, you'll have access to games like Overlord Lord of Nazarick, Lost Worlds Beyond the Page, or UP Psycho, which have already won over many mobile players. Choose your own adventure books marked our childhood with tough decisions and a unique aesthetic. So sometimes I like to dive back into narrative adventures full of nostalgia like Eldrum Black Dust. Each text screen will advance the story. Choose from several classes, explore alternative narrative paths, and fight using dungeon and dragon-style systems to progress in the adventure. You'll encounter strange characters and uncover the mystery of this original world. For just under €10, Eldrum Black Dust offers a complete experience in a rather epic dark fantasy desert. And there you have it. That's the end of this top list of the best mobile games for January. I hope you enjoyed it, and as usual, if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video, and of course, subscribe to the channel.